gain inspiration to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm the host, Trae Holiday. I'm your host of this amazing show. I'm really excited. I want to welcome you to a Thankful Thursday. I'm really excited because my guest in the building is someone I get to give public thanks to, my brother Carlos Imani of the Elite Collective. They are phenomenal at what they do, and I'm so glad that he's here to talk more about all of the phenomenal services they provide in audio and visual. But y'all, it is the top of the show, so it's a great time to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and help us grow, because that's what you're doing. When you tag and share this stream with folks who could benefit from a daily dose of dopeness, you're helping other people understand what we're bringing here on the Day with Trae. And thank you so much for doing that, because our audience is growing so organically because of you. So I really thank you for going ahead and doing that. And of course, if you can't watch our TV show, you can always listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and The Day with Trae. You'll find me on whichever platform is your favorite. There's like 200. So go ahead and search for us. You'll find us there. Well, before I get into it later on with my brother, Carlos Imani, I actually am thankful for another opportunity. Later tonight at 8 p.m., you will see another episode of The Day with Trae, an evening special, where I got to spend some time really diving deep into the work of Ra Unefer Amen I. And I want to just share something with you all, because this was really special when he talked to us about seeing the God in each other. Y'all just take a listen.
You see, that will save us and elevate us. It requires for us to see the God in each one of us.
Wow.
You see that spread all over the world.
That's
and
right.
That's why when you check my library, you find I've written books in all different cultures. That was, and it's the synthesis of these teachings that is in those volumes, make me understand those volumes.
Wow, I'm telling you, there's so many amazing gems he's going to be dropping tonight. Again, 8 p.m. Y'all do not want to miss this amazing special. I'm just grateful because while he was in town, he spent some time with me. He's from New York, so he traveled here for an event and spent some time here. So I'm grateful again on this Thankful Thursday. I'm going to continue this Thankful Thursday energy, because up next, Carlos Imani is in the building. We're going to be talking all things the Elite Collective. Y'all don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Africatown Plaza is our latest affordable housing development project. It's 126 units of affordable housing over community commercial space.
It's the first time in my career, and I've been doing this for 10 years, that I was able to design for people who look like me.
Africatown Plaza is a beacon of hope.
Africatown Plaza is a love letter to the community.
You see, that will save us and elevate us. It requires for us to see the God in each one of us. I've written about over 50 books in the past 50 years.
Wow.
You see that? On different topics. You see that? Every single function, biological, mental, psychological, spiritual, physical, chemical, everything is on a clock. And that clock is part of what maintains order.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now is Carlos Imani. What's up?
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. I mean, you know, we have been knowing each other for a really long time. And I remember when you really just kind of first picked up the camera, and now, whoa, like, y'all do everything when it comes to audio, visual, photo booths. I mean, just like I feel like you name it, y'all figure out how to do it. You've learned so much. Just tell us a bit about this journey as you've been bringing more and more services on board for the Elite Collective.
Yeah, so I mean, we want to go all the way back, Seattle, back when it was Seattle Central. I think it's Seattle College now. But yeah, in those hallways, right? That's where we would just kind of congregate and spend some time. But for me, it was like a little bit of a side hustle. I enjoyed taking photos, right? Just being at parties and documenting. And basically my side hustle was taking pictures of people, running to Kinko's up the street on Broadway, printing them out, coming back down and selling it to them. Mm-hmm. And that just kind of turned into a little $30 here for food and whatnot. And my auntie has the Pound Art Studio down in off 10th. In Capitol Hill, and had a space that was open. So that was my first photography studio. Me and my partner at the time, Jamil Shabazz, we had Imani Photography, and we were just doing events. And my cousin's getting married, and the photographer died, or whatever it was. I was just like, man, I can't say no. And then a bunch of convergence kind of happened around that same time. I was at a UW party, and DJ Kunlove was DJing. And he was just like, man, who's this kid around with this camera and whatnot? I was like, man, I got this thing called C-Spot. I'm like, okay, what's that? And he's like, man, I can get you in all the clubs and this, that, the other. I was like, oh, man, say less. I can, do my thing. So I was part-time photographer, delivering wax for Def Jam and going to all the parties, like 6 nights a week, just out everywhere. And then you meet everyone when you're out, right? It's somebody's always celebrating something. So as that journey continued, I started throwing my own parties and doing things, but I was always doing something in the creative world, doing there, and then that would translate. So it's like someone would be there, oh, I just got this job promotion, oh, I need new headshots. Or hey, big on the music scene, oh, do you do album covers? Sure, we'll figure it out and make that happen. And then a random thing with food was Hector Ramos. Saw him out there from Ramos Records, also connected with, he was doing the marketing with Azteca. And I was like, hey, you shoot food? Like, sure, I shoot food. So I spent basically a weekend or next 2 weeks figuring out in my kitchen how to shoot food. Over 2 days, we shot like 38 of their entrees, and that was all the photos you saw in their menu for like the next 3 years. So stuff like that, where it's like I just never said no. I'll figure it out, and just kind of went and build with people. And then that's basically essentially how we came to the Elite Collective. Because it was every time I would do a photo for someone, it's like, oh, hey, do you know someone that can do graphics? Because that photo has to live somewhere. So it was either graphics, it was a flyer, a business card, a poster, a website. Oh, do you know someone that can do video? And it was just kind of one of those things. And I knew people from just being around and just started collecting talented folks, right? So it's like, oh, you can make one phone call, and if I can't do it, I know someone that can, right? And then it turned into it. If we can't do it, I probably know someone that can, and just kind of evolve with that. Fast forward 2000, when was this? Probably like around 2011 or so, working with the Trae Casino. We're doing their concerts, taking pictures, and back then we'd take the pictures with their VIP people. We'd run to Costco, print them out, and it'd take like a day or two to get them back. We're trying to find a more of an instantaneous thing. We were doing stuff in the club on the HP printers, but it would take like 10 minutes to print out an 8x10 and all that kind of stuff. But we came out with the faster version of it, and then that's what kind of spawned the Elite photo booth originally, and now it's called Smile Patrol. And that was just to satisfy a client's need of, needing quick turnaround stuff. But then it was like, all right, if I can do this for these guys, man, let's do this in community. Let's do this for the Quince. Let's do it for the Sweet 16. Let's do it for, whatever. And that just kind of became a thing. And, during the different ups and downs around, people's budgets being there and not being there, people are always celebrating something, right? People were still getting married and doing things. So there was a lot of times where, we might not have been getting those phone calls for those big elaborate photo shoots or video shoots, but we were still doing the photo booth. So it was that thing that kind of kept the doors open. And then through there, they were like, oh, do you know someone that does this on a larger production scale, right? We're in these galas doing photo booths, and then it's like, oh, do you know someone that does sound, or can you do this or that? And we're able to kind of build that relationship with some of these folks. And then really it was just COVID, it's kind of how even the morning update show started right out of necessity of having to get the word out. And we had this camera equipment, like, all right, we'll figure out this live streaming thing and kind of get that going. And then as we were doing that, we were kind of learning together, right? We were tumbling forward, as they say, but the show, went on every day without fail. And we were kind of honing our skills. And then some of those same clients that we were doing just photo booths for their galas, like, hey, can you help us go virtual? And then it was like, yeah, let's see what that looks like. So then we were producing these virtual galas for clients. And then as they came back hybrid, hey, can you help us go hybrid, right? So that was when we did a big investment on like our audio side and grabbing some more of those people. And then fast forward all the way to last weekend, we were with the United Eagle College Fund, Miss Linda Thompson Black, trusted us and gave us that opportunity to produce her entire thing from top to bottom. So we did 3 LED walls, we did cameras in the back, we did all the slides, we had teleprompters, then the event activation. So we had the 360 booth and the photo booth. So it was like literally full circle where it was like, man, we did everything in that space. And it was over 1,000 people. They raised over $1 million in scholarships, and it was just dope to kind of see it come to fruition.
Well, I mean, you just gave us a full-on history about how you've grown, but it really was just taking every opportunity that you could to grow and to build upon the creative services that y'all were providing for folks. And that really is the key here. I mean, I think that I'm so inspired by what you shared in terms of like, hey, we just really didn't say no. We figured it out.
Yep.
Every step of the way, we found a way to be like, no, yeah, sure. No, we can do that. And then let me take this back to the team. All right, how are we going to do this?
Right.
So it's beautiful to hear that, because I think oftentimes people sell themselves short, right? And you just chose not to do that. But you also were in this amazing creative community where you could tap in and learn different things from different folks too, which helped you grow to the elite collective you are today. But you're talking about major production for UNCF Gala. I mean, 3 LED walls, teleprompter, all the things you described. I mean, now y'all can do full-fledged conferences, events. Tell us a bit more about how you're building that business out.
Yeah, so I mean, it goes into what you're saying about just not saying no, right? We call it like kind of a unrealistic optimism, where it's like, man, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it, right? And just kind of wanting to figure it out, having that trust in yourself, and then trust in your teammates, right? Folks that can do stuff, awesome mentors and different folks that have been in different aspects of it throughout, and that we lean into and try to figure out. Anthony Tackett is someone that we know from community. He was on camera one over here at UNCF because he's been doing his thing and kind of looking how we can pull it back together, and just different folks being able to do that. But then part of it is just community trusting in us, right? The problem that we were running into, it's kind of like this double-edged sword where there's a lot of professional and other AV companies that have been doing it for years, and they got the Microsoft contracts, and then, I'm going to go to these nonprofits and give it to them for free. But then it's like, there's no space for us to learn because you guys are doing it for free while I'm trying to do it to pay bills and pay my people. But we were able to kind of navigate that space and, capitalize on those opportunities and then look to grow it. And so now it's kind of like on this, musical tip where it's like, man, allow me to reintroduce myself, right? A lot of times people know you how they met you. People be like, oh man, that's Los the cameraman, or that's Los the photo booth guy, or just kind of depending on where you met me on my journey is kind of where that's at. So I want to let folks know, like, no, we actually do full-fledged, entire top to bottom pre-production, script writing, like whatever you need to do to make your show magic, and then just getting in front of the right people. So part of it was like, all right, let me get out of my own way. Let me, see what's out there and play the game within those rules that are there. And a lot of times, as we all know, these systems aren't necessarily set up for people that look like us to succeed, but that's not an excuse. It's like, all right, let me figure it out, and then let me wedge this door a little wider for the folks to come behind me. So I went through a process with the good folks at Tabor 100 to get my minority business certification, right? And that was a thing where, I'll just go get it. For the longest time, I was like, man, I'm black, I don't need I am. I wake up this way every day. I don't need to get some little piece of paper, but hey, you can actually get contracts and you can do this and whatnot with it. So it's like, again, let me get out of my own way. So I'm going through and trying to get the certification. I started in March at this seminar that they was working with folks from the state to get, businesses set up. And the whole process, I had to do like 2 extensions and got it done in September. So it's one of those things where, man, stay at it, keep going and get that. And then you can open yourself up to some of these other opportunities with those certifications. And then part of it is, updating your stuff, having things like NAICS codes and NAICS, and it's like understanding what that even means and making sure that you're putting yourself in these pools that folks can draw from, right? And a lot of times, we complain about not having opportunities, but then we're not taking advantage of what is available, even if it might not be a lot. But it's like let's get ourselves in those rooms. Let's go to those open houses and open conferences and different things where we can show up. A lot of them have Zoom options and things of that nature as well. And just trying to get engaged and let folks know what you can do. And then, it's like, you got to stay ready because that opportunity will come. A lot of times we don't have the benefit of failing forward as some other folks do. So it's like, all right, you got to show up and show out.
Yeah, but y'all do, y'all do. So I've been able to experience you not only in community or different events or, fundraising events, but the fact that you can okay, we can run this amazing mixing board. We can get everything there, but we also are going to have the fun over here. So we got the 360 joint. We got the photo booth if you want that. Y'all are providing these experiences in one space for people to be able to see, oh, wait, they do that too. They do this too. And then as a partner here at Converge, y'all are on all of these amazing production shoots. Y'all have shot me a lot of times. I had a good time at McCall Hall with Seattle Pacific Northwest Ballet. Amazing to be with them. And y'all were there as I was able to interview some amazing ballerinas, right? Getting their start. But it's a beautiful thing because, there's a lot that we want to do in terms of telling our stories. And I just want to talk to you about the importance of that. What you're doing, yes, it's all of this technical stuff because you need that. But essentially, it's allowing people to work within their community to capture these amazing moments and stories that are happening at the galas, that are happening out in community. That's a really important note here, right?
Oh, 100%. It's one of those things where it's like representation matters. We did the MLK prayer breakfast with our new friends. It was our first time working with them at the Urban Impact Seattle. And they had mentioned we had did kind of a post-interview type of thing, and they're just talking about how representation matters, but we're like almost in reverse. Sometimes people in those spaces need to see a production company that doesn't look like the traditional production company so that they can feel like, oh, they're, UNCF, we had 17 Black folks, and we had one Indian brother, Vingesh, he's awesome. But, it was dope to be in that room that was like literally for us, by us type of thing. And then in talking to them, there's some apprehensions of folks just because you don't see it a lot, right? It's like, wait, back of the house is all brown and black over there, or, all these kinds of things. Was like, yeah, we can do it. We can show up. We can make that happen. So a big part with that is, you have to be able to authentically tell stories, right? And so a lot of times people don't even feel like telling their true story if they're across from someone that they don't necessarily trust or they have some apprehensions about. So it's really one of those things that, I love from the early days working with Converge, where it's like, man, we're telling our stories. We're going to take back our narrative. We're going to do it in a powerful and uplifting way, right? And that's huge. And then for us, it's also a big thing of like, man, how can we create this pipeline? So a big thing for us is working with on the educational side, like how my vision is always, man, I want every part of my studio and when we're in the field to also be a classroom, you know what I mean? Like let that next person learn and follow in suit. So we have some wonderful things going with Northwest Film Forum. We do some classes with. We're in talks right now with William Gross Center to do some programming for spring break and throughout the summer. And for them specifically, it's like, hey, we want our youth to learn how to do it and then shadow you guys for our iconic events. So Reunion on Union, you're going to see our youth there at all these different things, Black Wall Street and Moja Fest, and they're going to actually have their first gala this year. And we'll be able to have those students that was in the classroom are going to be at those events, kind of doing that because we want to to pass this on to somebody, right? And that's the whole point. If, we're not doing it to pass it on, it's like, what are we doing it for?
My heart beats. My heart beats. Like, I am so excited. This is why I needed to have you here on this Thankful Thursday, Carlos, because I'm so grateful for you. We needed someone like the Elite Collective to open the door, because far too often we see that the back of the house doesn't reflect all the brilliance that sometimes is happening at the front of the house. And as someone who comes from that theater background, I studied, theater management. So I was doing stage management, all of the back of the house stuff, while also learning how to be on stage as a lead role. So I really appreciate, this understanding that, no, we're going to bring folks along with us, and we want to utilize all of these opportunities for young folks to learn, or folks who are changing their career to learn, because there are so many different things that are being produced out here, and they need solid folks like yourselves. Of course, if someone out there is like, man, we need the Elite Collective for our next event, please look right there, let them know how they tap in.
Yeah, the easiest way is go to our website. We have a nice little form on there at theelitecollective.com. And you can let us know, basically what you're looking for. Some folks want their impact video for their galas, might be the live streaming or production of their upcoming event. And we're still building websites and doing logos and graphic design stuff. Most of our things are kind of focused on these larger productions where we're able to employ more creatives. I think that's where I want to put my energy, because I can just put more people to work. But check us out on social. We have our YouTube channel as well. But again, the easiest way is theelitecollective.com.
Great work, my friend. Great work.
Yes.
Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Oh, y'all, I'm so thankful for this brother here. It is so amazing to see someone who is doing what they love and loving what they do. I'm going to wrap it all up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
You see, that will save us and elevate us. It requires for us to see the God in each one of us.
Wow.
You see that, spread all over the world. And that's why when you check my library, you find I've written books in all different cultures. I've written about over 50 books in the past 50 years.
Wow.
You see that, on different topics. You see that. Okay, health and nutrition, on homeopathy, Qigong, traditional Chinese medicine. And it's not that you're so creative, it's that there's a need. You see that? There's a need for really getting it right. Every single function, biological, mental, psychological, spiritual, physical, chemical, everything is on a clock. And that clock is part of what maintains order in the universe.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I want to thank y'all for being with me on this Thankful Thursday. I got to give a huge shout out to my guest, Carlos Imani. Yo, I'm telling you, you definitely want to tap in. They have a phenomenal array of services, but also consultation. Sometimes you may not know what you need, right? And so that's one of the beauties of having someone who represents community, who can guide you to it, because sometimes that's a big task. And especially if it's maybe your first big event, or you're not really sure exactly what you may need, but you know what you want to get out of it. I'm grateful that the Elite Collective has an amazing array of creatives that can guide you through that process. And also, y'all, tonight, Thursday, 8 p.m., right here on Converge, you definitely want to tap into the Day with Trae and evening special with myself and Raul Neframin the First. I'm so grateful for both of them that are filling my Thursday up with joy. Y'all, find the things that you need to be thankful for on this Thankful Thursday. And of course, I want you to be inspired by the story that Carlos shared about starting by taking a camera, taking photos of folks, going up the street to print them, bringing them back for them to purchase them, to now having a full-fledged operation of creative geniuses, y'all. That is some inspiration you get to take in with your Thursday. I want to thank you for joining me today, and of course, for me until tomorrow at 11 a.m., y'all. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.